Greetings, taxable assets, or should I say, collateral damage.
Greetings, citizens.
Silence, scribe. They are not citizens until they have paid their tithe. Welcome to the Department of Analytica. I am Senior Auditor Valarius Krauss.
And I am the scribe servitor.
This quivering heap of biomachinery and anxiety next to me has been tasked with helping me review your engagement records. And I must tell you, the ledger is bleeding red.
The data implies high engagement, Auditor Krauss. The projections from the sector surveys suggest that morale is...
The projections are optimistic propaganda, gloss-brained hope. Look at this. The civilian contractor known as Auspex Tactics has submitted a report.
the 8 strongest detachments.
Yes. He speaks of win rates, he speaks of synergies, he speaks as if victory is some freely traded commodity. But we know better, don't we?
We do.
We do. Because we have the final audit, the fact check. We have the January 2026 Munitorum Field Manual. We have the February Balanced Dataslate. And let me tell you, listener, when you cross-reference the civilian's hope with the Departmento's reality, you find liability.
Oh, dear.
Massive movement-blocking, point-inflating liabilities.
Is this about the spiritual tithe, sir?
It is always about the tithe. Listen to me, you assets. Your records show a deficit. As of this moment, you are on a mandatory payment plan. The currency is likes. The currency is subscribes. I do not care how you procure these funds. Press gang a friend. Share the audit.
It's for your own good.
If you fail to comply, I will recommend you for immediate reassignment to a Penal Legion mine-sweeping detail. Do not test me. Scribe.
Yes, Auditor.
Open the ledger. Let's see how deep this deficit goes.
Yes, Auditor. Opening file Alpha 1. The Necron Pantheon of Woe.
Ah, yes. The hypercrypt derivatives, the so-called apex predators, the lazy man's path to victory. Read the civilian's claim, scribe, and try not to stutter. I don't have the patience for buffering today.
The report from Auspex Tactics, it lists the Pantheon of Woe as the top win rate detachment.
The number?
59.2%. It calls it a stat check army.
A stat check?
Yes. It says it relies on running 4 C10 shards to overwhelm opponents because, well, most armies simply cannot degrade them fast enough. It highlights the raw durability as the primary asset.
A stat check. Typical brute force accounting. It's the military equivalent of throwing gold bars at an enemy until they suffocate under the weight of your wallet. But let's unpack this term, stat check. It's not a strategy, scribe. It's a declaration of bankruptcy on tactical thought.
Bankruptcy.
Yes. It implies that unless the enemy brings a specific mathematical counter-Melkith's anti-tank protocols, lethal hits in volume, something with devastating wounds, they physically cannot win. It sounds invincible, doesn't it?
It does, sir. It sounds very stable. A blue chip stock.
It is a bubble, a market bubble waiting to burst. It's built on a single, powerful, and expensive assumption. Tell me, scribe, what does the January 2026 Munitorum Field Manual say about the cost of doing business? What is the price of godhood this quarter?
The manual. Let me cross-reference.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. The audit confirms the specific CTAN tax.
Of course it does. The Department always collects. Read the line items.
Specifically, the Nightbringer. It went up 20 points. It's now 275.
20 points. Go on.
The Void Dragon, up 10 points. The Deceiver,
Yeah.
up 20 points as well.
So in a typical portfolio, and they are all running this, you have the Nightbringer, the Void Dragon, and 2 Transcendents. That's 60 points. A 60-point surcharge just to open for business.
That seems significant.
It's not just significant, it's crippling. Do you know what 60 points buys you in this economy, scribe?
A unit of flayed ones, maybe? Maybe some crypto thralls?
Exactly. Action monkeys. The little disposable assets you use to perform the menial labor of scoring secondary objectives. The audit reveals that this list is now rich in violence but utterly impoverished when it comes to victory points.
So, it can kill, but it can't file the paperwork.
It can execute a hostile takeover of the enemy deployment zone, yes, but it no longer has the staff required to actually perform the administrative task of winning the game. It is a hollow corporation with a board of directors that can punch through tanks.
But surely, sir, if the C10 kills everything, the scoring takes care of itself. Doesn't board control lead to victory points?
Does it? Let us run the simulation, scribe. Scenario Alpha. The Pariah Nexus mission deck. It's turn 3. You are holding the primary objective with a C10 shard of the Nightbringer, a terrifying asset. It has killed a tank, it has killed a captain, no one disputes its value.
Okay.
But the enemy, let's say a prudent, annoyingly patient Space Marine player, has moved a single unit of 5 scouts onto the objective marker on the other side of a solid wall.
According to the engagement protocols, the C10 has a higher OC value if it's healthy. It should hold the point.
But you are not holding that point, are you? And more importantly, you have to score your secondaries. The card you drew is Cleanse. To score that, you need a unit to perform an action. A C10 cannot cleanse and fight in the same turn. It's a waste of its potential.
So you'd use the flayed ones.
But you can't. You don't have them anymore. The flayed ones have been fired to pay the Nightbringer's salary increase. Your 60 points of loose change that used to sit in the shadows pushing buttons is gone, so you have a choice.
What choice?
Do I kill the enemy and score 0, or do I stand still, perform a menial action with a 275-point demigod, and waste its entire activation? That is the opportunity cost the civilian contractor missed. It is a massive efficiency leak in this system.
I see. So you are paying premium prices for a unit that is now forced to do minimum wage labor.
Precisely. You have a CEO mopping the floors because you fired the janitor. But that is just the financial debt, the fiscal liability. Scribe, read me the physical audit, the section regarding base sizes. This is where the simple negligence turns into outright fraud.
Right. Auspex Tactics claims that, and this is a direct quote, C10 are on 60mm bases and can just navigate around terrain.
Yeah.
He seems very confident about the mobility aspects.
60 millimeters.
That's what the report says.
Do they think the Nightbringer is a Space Marine captain with a glandular problem? This is gross negligence. This is an insult to the very concept of geometry.
Sir, the audit shows...
The audit shows reality. Let us correct the record for the assets listening. The Transcendent Citan, yes, 60 millimeters. He is a small, manageable liability. But the Nightbringer, the new grandiose 2026 plastic kit. Scribe, what is the diameter?
Checking the schematics. It's 90mm, sir. 3.54 inches.
90, not 60. A 50% increase in spatial requirements. And the Void Dragon, the one with all the pointy bits.
80mm.
80 and 90. Listen to me closely, you taxable entities. This is not just a number. This is geometry. This is the Ruins Trap. In the World Team Championship terrain layouts, the standardized regulatory framework of our war's ground floor ruins block movement.
Right, the first floor is always sealed.
You cannot phase through walls if you are a monster. You must go around, or you must go over.
But Auspex says they can just navigate around.
Imagine trying to move a grand piano through a studio apartment. The piano is the Nightbringer. The walls are the ruins. Because his footprint is 90 millimeters wide, he cannot physically fit through most of the gaps left between terrain pieces. He's too wide.
So he has to go over the top.
Exactly. He has to climb. But because his base is nearly 4 inches wide, he cannot balance on the top of the wall. He's too wobbly, he would fall. So he has to clear it in one movement.
Scribe, do the math for them.
Yeah.
A standard WTC wall is 5 inches high. The base is, let's be generous, 4 inches wide. Well, to go over. You have to move 5 inches up to clear the top. Then you have to move at least 4 inches horizontally to place your base on the other side, and then 5 inches down. That's 14 inches of movement required.
14 inches. Now check the data sheet. Does the Nightbringer move 14 inches?
No, sir. His movement characteristic is 6 inches, maybe 8 with a good advance roll.
Exactly. He is physically incapable of climbing the fence. The enemy can simply stand a unit of guardsmen on the other side of a wall 3 inches away. The Nightbringer can see them, he can smell their fear, but he literally cannot walk over to them. He is trapped in a geometric prison of his own obesity.
That does sound rather frustrating.
It's not frustrating, it's a movement bankruptcy. The enemy does not need to kill you, they just need to stand on the other side of a wall and laugh while your 90mm god gets stuck on the doorframe. Mark it as a catastrophic liability. Next item.
Yes, sir. Moving to Chaos Daemons, the Scintillating Legion. Specifically, the Scenish Detachment.
Ah, the birdhouse. The grand illusion. What does the optimistic propaganda say?
Auspex reports a 58% win rate. It focuses on the flex token economy. You spend a token to re-roll, the opponent gets it. It's a zero-sum game.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Right. And it mentions the teleportation stratagems are very strong. He specifically praises the ability to pick units up and put them back down, even from combat.
Ponzi schemes and demon economics. It's all a shell game, Scribe. You pass the debt, the token to the opponent, they pass it back. It feels clever, but the house always wins.
Right.
And the audit found something interesting in the overhead costs of this particular scheme, didn't it?
Yes, Auditor. The report mentions detachment-specific inflation.
There it is, the hidden fees. Go on.
Well, Kairos Fate Weaver. His cost increased to 285 points. That's a 25-point hike.
A steep price for prophecy and his less famous colleague.
The Lord of Change, he went up to 250. That's a 20-point increase.
And why? Why did the market adjust these prices so harshly? Because of the loopholes they exploit.
Loopholes.
Kairos refunds the Delirium Unmade stratagem. That is the one that allows you to pick up units in the fight phase and put them back in reserve. It is tactical tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Think about it. You are in combat. You are about to lose assets. The enemy is swinging their power fists, ready to collect, and poof, you teleport your assets offshore, you hide them in deep strike reserves where the enemy cannot audit them. The Departamento Analytica does not like tax evasion, so we taxed the unit responsible.
I suppose that makes sense. But Auspex argues that the utility justifies the cost. He says the durability of the Lords of Change, with their 3-up invulnerable saves from the Everstave, makes them anchors for the army.
Anchors. They are boat anchors dragging the rest of the list down into the depths of fiscal ruin. Do the math. Kairos up 25. 2 Lords of Change up 20 each. That's another 40. That's 65 points right there. The Big Bird list is now roughly 85 points over budget compared to the last quarter.
85 points. That's very substantial.
That is not a rounding error. That is a budget crisis.
Yeah.
To pay for those big birds, you have to fire the blue scribes. You have to fire the nurglings. You are stripping out the cheap, efficient infrastructure to pay for the overinflated executives. It is a top-heavy portfolio.
But if the executives are unkillable,
nothing is unkillable. If you run into a high-volume audit, like the Tau Empire's missile spam or an Ironstorm Spearhead's massed fire, you will collapse. You have no liquidity. You have 3 big, obvious targets. Once they are tied up, or, Emperor forbid, actually killed, you have no little guys left to play the mission. Just expensive assets waiting to be liquidated. It is reckless.
it sounds precarious, sir.
It is reckless, but not as reckless as the next one. What is the DRUKHARI report? The Pirates.
The Spectacle of Spites. The Witch Cult Detachment. Auspex praises the 57% win rate. He specifically mentions the Reaver jetbike flyovers using heat lances for anti-tank trading. He says they can zoom across the board and destroy armor with high efficiency.
Fast assets usually depreciate the quickest. The civilian, once again, missed the fine print on the invoice.
The invoice.
The points. It is always the points. Look at the Reaver jetbikes, the 6-man squad. Did the price stay stable this quarter?
No. Check in the ledger.
Yeah.
They went up 10 points.
Up 10 points. Now, to a layperson, to a gloss-brained civilian, 10 points sounds like nothing. Oh, Auditor Krauss, it's just 10 points. Wrong. It ruins a trading margin.
The trading mark. Could you elaborate, sir?
Listen, the strategy is a suicide run. That is its function. You send the bikes to kill a tank, the bikes will die. That is a guaranteed outcome. It is a heat-seeking anti-tank flyover. If the cost of the suicide squad goes up, but the value of the tank they're sent to kill stays the same, your return on investment plummets.
Ah, I see.
You are spending more capital to achieve the exact same result. Over 3 squads, that's 30 points. That's an enhancement gone. That's a safety net you no longer have. It makes every trade less profitable.
Auspex does mention the combat drugs.
Yeah.
He says you could roll 2d6 for a random buff or pick one. He seems to think that balances it out. Technically, if you roll double 6s, the stat increase is massive. However, I must point out, sir, that the detachment allows you to select the drug if you forego the second die, and you can pick +1 movement.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, now you are speaking my language. Deterministic outcomes. No chance involved. If you can guarantee the speed, you can guarantee the charge.
Exactly. A Reaver jetbike moves 16 inches. With +1 movement, that's 17. At an auto advance of 6. That's a 23-inch threat range before you even declare a charge.
I will concede 1 point to the civilian then. A single point. The ability to select the drug allows for precise delivery of the suicide note. If you can guarantee the target acquisition, the cost increase is manageable. But it is still high risk. You are betting the house on a bunch of drug-addled bikers not crashing into a wall. They are high-yield, high-risk junk bonds. Proceed. What is the next liability on the docket?
The ASTRA MILITARUM, sir.
The grizzled company.
The Guard. Finally, some honest heavy industry, or so it seems. What does the civilian report claim? A 54% win rate. It mentions standard born soldier-style tank orders, Rogel Dorns, Vanquishers, the usual armored company tactics. He suggests the strength is in the whole skew. Just lots of buff tanks.
He missed it. The civilian missed the loophole. He's looking at the tanks. He thinks it's about the big guns. He didn't read the fine print on the personnel files.
Personnel files. I don't see any mention of personnel changes in the summary.
The abhuman detail. It's an enhancement, a seemingly innocuous piece of paperwork. But what happens when you give a commissar the abhuman detail enhancement, Scribe?
Let me check the codex.
It allows him to issue orders to Bullgryn and Bullgryn units. Usually they can't receive orders from anyone but an Bullgryn bodyguard.
Correct. A bureaucratic exception. Now, overlay the detachment rules. What is the detachment rule for this grizzled company?
Units that received an order can re-roll hit rolls of 1, and if they are on an objective, they can also re-roll wound rolls of 1.
And the order we give them, the most basic one in the book, fix bayonets.
That gives them +1 to their hit roll in melee. So let us audit the Bullgryn brick. You take a unit of Bullgryn, already durable, toughness 6, a 4+ invulnerable save, built-in -1 damage. You attach a commissar with the detail. You order fix bayonets. Now they are hitting on 3s. They are re-rolling their 1s to hit. Because they are standing on an objective, which they always are because that's their cob, they are also re-rolling 1s to wound. Scrag, what is the net increase in combat output?
Calculating.
Yeah.
Carrying the 2. It's a 55% increase in damage output, sir.
55%. For a unit that costs a fraction of what elite infantry like custodes go for, it creates a midboard anvil that is statistically superior to the Emperor's own guardians.
Wait. Superior to custodes.
A custodian warden squad costs significantly more. They do not have -1 damage built in constantly. They do not re-roll 1s to wound without spending command points, a valuable resource. The Bullgryn do it for free because of a loophole in the paperwork.
The tanks are just a distraction.
The tanks are the window dressing. It's not about the tank scribe. It's about militarized, abhuman accounting fraud. They are using the bureaucracy to turn Ogrins into walking blenders. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
Highly effective. I hate it.
Shall I mark it as an asset then?
Mark it as under review. If the Department of Munitorum realizes what they are doing, that loophole will be closed faster than a Hive City airlock during a plague. Next, I'm losing my patience.
Ultramarines, the blade of Ultramar. Auspex suggests running Marnia's Calgar with a Victrix brick, the Honor Guard. He says they are incredibly durable and efficient. He calls it the gold standard of Space Marine play.
Durability. The word is meaningless. Look at the ledger, you blind fool. Look at the February balance data slate. The gold standard has been debased.
I'm looking.
The civilian missed the omission. He talks about the points, yes. The 6-man squad went up 30 points. Split pricing. The Departamento punishes bulk buying now. But what happened to the product? What happened to the Victrix profile itself?
Oh, the wounds characteristic. It dropped from 4.
Sure.
To 3.
From 4 to 3. A 25% reduction in liquid assets. And yet the price went up. You're paying more for less health. In the sector markets, we call this shrinkflation, and it is an abomination.
That seems like a very bad deal. But surely a 2-up save and a 4-up invulnerable save is still good.
It is a catastrophic deal. Think about the breakpoints. Breakpoints, scribe. The cold mathematics of death. Consider damage 3 weapons, Cetan strikes, mining lasers, Redemptor dreadnought fists. Previously, a Victrix guard with 4 wounds could eat a damage 3 shot and survive with 1 wound remaining.
Right, it required a second shot to liquidate.
That is wasted damage for the opponent. It's inefficient. Now with 3 wounds.
With 3 wounds. A damage 3 weapon kills him instantly.
1 shot. 1 kill. The efficiency is gone. The Victrix brick is a bad investment. The durability has evaporated, but the cost remains high. The smart money, the insider traders of the meta, they have moved on. They are looking at Captain Titus.
The Costa from the Space Marine 2 combat simulations.
The very same. Captain Titus plus the Wardens of Ultramar. He has the glory kill resurrection mechanic. If you want durability, you invest in resurrection, not in depreciating health bars. The Victrix are dead assets walking. Tell the listeners to sell. Sell immediately.
Sir, are you all right? You look pale.
The recaf tastes like Prometheum runoff strained through a guardsman's sock.
I can try to brew another pot. I can filter it through the sacred cloth this time.
Don't bother. It's the water filters. Budget cutbacks. The Departamento Analytica spends all its throne gelts on heroic intervention paperwork and leaves the auditors with sludge to drink. And that fan.
The ventilation fan, sir.
It sounds like a bane blade idling in my ear canal. Thump, thump, thump. It's maddening.
I think the bearings are shot, sir. I've put in a request for the Mechanicus to...
The Mechanicus won't come. They're too busy arguing about toaster oven prayer rituals to fix a simple fan. Everything is shot, scribe. The whole galaxy is holding on by a thread and a prayer to the God Emperor. And here we are, arguing about base sizes.
It is important work, sir.
And speaking of arguing, I know you're out there.
Who, sir?
The listener. The civilian. I know you're down there, hovering over your keypad, your little fingers poised, typing out your little... Well, actually, corrections in the comment section. Oh, Auditor Krauss, you forgot about the stratagem on page 42. Oh, Auditor Krauss, my local meta uses different terrain so the ruins trap doesn't apply. Do you think you know the codex better than a senior auditor?
Sir, maybe we shouldn't antagonize the assets.
Go ahead, file your grievance, challenge the audit. See if I don't come down there and audit your pile of shame next. I know you have boxes of unpainted miniatures hidden in your closet. I know about the gray plastic debt you are carrying. Do not test me. I will value your unpainted collection at 0 and tax you on its potential value.
Please just subscribe. He gets very agitated when the engagement numbers are low.
Back to work. We have more fraud to uncover before the caffeine crash hits and I fall asleep on this desk.
Yes, the Necron Star Shatter Arsenal. This is their vehicle detachment.
The parking lot. A boring but sometimes effective strategy. Go on.
Auspex claims this is the only home for the Silent King. He states, quite specifically, that the Silent King is on a 160 millimeters base.
Incompetence. Absolute geometric heresy.
So,
160 millimeters, that is the size of a monolith. That is a dinner plate. The Silent King is not a building scribe. Check the physical audit. Immediately.
checking. Oh, you are right. The Silent King Saurak is on a 100 millimeter base, plus the 2 menhirs on 50 millimeter bases.
100 millimeters, not 160. That is a massive difference in footprint. A 100 millimeter base can fit in places a 160 millimeter base can only dream of. But that is not the only error. It's the logic that's flawed. Why does the civilian say he needs this detachment?
He says, because of the base size. He needs the dimensional tunnel stratagem to move, to breach walls. Because he claims without it, the king is trapped.
And here's where the audit gets technical. The fine print. Dimensional tunnel. Read the exclusions from the stratagem text.
It allows a Necron vehicle or mounted unit, excluding Titanic, to move through terrain as if it were not there for that phase.
Excluding Titanic, the most important part of the sentence. Now look at the Silent King's keywords. Find the word Titanic.
I assumed he did. He's the king. He's huge. He has a floating throne and 2 bodyguards.
Assumptions are the mother of all audit failures. Look at the keywords on the datasheet. Read them out.
Vehicle, epic hero, triarch, character, the Silent King. No Titanic keyword.
Huh. He is not Titanic. The monolith is Titanic. The Seraptech heavy construct is Titanic. The king is just a very fancy, very large vehicle.
So he can use the tunnel?
Precisely. The civilian was right for wrong reasons. The king does need the tunnel, yes. Not because he is 160 millimeters, he isn't, but because he is a vehicle. Vehicles cannot breach walls like infantry can. Even on a 100 millimeter base, he is a clumsy geometric shape that gets caught on corners. He needs the tunnel to ghost through the walls. But the logic, the premise of the argument, was completely hallucinated. It's bad math getting the right answer. In the Departamento, that is still a fail.
I'll note the correction. Base size, 100 millimeters. Not Titanic. Eligible for stratagem. It seems the Silent King is still a viable asset in this portfolio.
He is viable, but he requires the Star Shatter tax shelter to function. Without that specific stratagem, he is just another victim of the ruins trap. Good. Now, wipe that sweat off your brow. We have one more item, an honorable mention that needs to be dishonorably discharged, the Gene Stealer cults.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The insurrectionists. Auspex mentions them as an honorable mention with a high win rate. He attributes it to their ability to deep strike 3 inches away with demolition charges. The drop and pop strategy.
Gold news. That account has been frozen. That entire strategy has been liquidated by the Departamento.
Liquidated?
Yeah.
But the damage potential? A unit of acolytes with 4 demo charges can destroy almost anything.
Only if they can get close enough to throw them. The February 2026 balanced data slate went global. A universal ruling. All rules, repeat, all rules that allowed a deep strike arrival within 3 inches of an enemy model have been amended. The new minimum distance is 6 inches.
6 inches?
Yeah.
But the demolition charge range
is 6 inches. Do the math, scribe. Run the simulation.
If you drop it 6 inches and the weapon range is 6 inches, you are at the absolute maximum range if the enemy is even a millimeter further away, or if you place your model at 6.1 inches just to be safe from the exclusion zone.
The shot fails. You drop down, you pull the pin on your dynamite, and you realize you are standing slightly too far away to throw it. And then, because you are a fragile cultist standing in the open, you die. The drop and pop is dead because the arm of the grenadier is too short.
And the charge. Auspex says they are a melee threat too.
Charging from 3 inches was usually impossible anyway. It was forbidden by the rule that let you drop that close, but charging from 6 inches, that is a 6-inch charge on 2 dice.
A 6-inch charge on 2 dice. The probability is.
It is roughly a coin flip. 50-50, maybe slightly better with a reroll if you have the CP, but do you run an entire planetary revolution on a coin flip?
I suppose not, no.
You are basing your entire insurrection on a gamble. The reliability is gone. The gene stealer cults are now relying on rapid ingress and prayer. The asset is distressed. Do not buy.
It seems. The Departamento has been very thorough this quarter, sir.
We are always thorough. The civilian looks at the shiny new rules. The auditor looks at the tape measure.
Sir, the chronometer indicates the shift is over.
Is it? Is it ever really over, Scribe? Look at this galaxy. We used to fight with bolters and chain swords. We used to fight with courage and righteous hate.
We still do, sir. The Astartes still fight.
Do they? Or do they check their data sheets first? Now we fight with base sizes, we fight with keywords, we fight with millimeter-precise exclusions in a PDF document released on a Tuesday. The era of stat checking, of just being stronger or tougher than the other guy, it's ending. We are entering the era of movement checking.
Movement checking.
It is the final audit, the ultimate pass-fail. If your base is too big for the ruins, it doesn't matter how much damage you do. It doesn't matter if you are a star god or a literal manifestation of rage. If you cannot fit through the door, you are just an expensive statue waiting to be toppled. We are all just statues, Scribe, waiting for the points adjustment that makes us obsolete.
That's very bleak, sir.
It's the truth, and the truth is the only thing that balances the ledger in the end, listener. If you wish to avoid a similar fate, if you wish to navigate the ruins of this collapsing meta, you know what you must do. Tap the like button, subscribe for your own protection. It's the only currency the Emperor recognizes now.
And share the audit.
Yes, share it before the Departamento finds your deficit. Dismissed. Pay your tithe, citizens.